Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. Winter weather is here. That means you need winter building materials. You can't start a project in January and use the same stuff that you would during a July project. Gordon Hines, his family, and his team can help make sure you have the perfect tools and the perfect materials to make your project perfect. aghines.com to learn more, or get down and visit them in downtown Knoxville. They're on Hines Street. It's easy to remember. A.G. Hines Company on Hines Street, downtown Knoxville. Visit them this week. All right, Vols are now 11-3 on the season, 1-0 in the SEC. I want to know what the panel views as the number one factor regarding long-term success. Chris Beard talked about this team being a Final Four team. Tom Izzo said that earlier this year. The reality, of course, is there are plenty of Final Four caliber teams around the country. This time last year, no one was talking about San Diego State and FAU. And by the way, I forgot to introduce down here, Will West is back with us. Will West, hey, Will, sorry to forget you there. But I want to talk about, is there one thing moving forward that you say to make a Final Four, you have to keep this going? This is their most important, or this is the most important thing they have to fix. And I'll let you guys decide if you want to go the fix-it route or the keep-it-up route. Isaiah, where are you going?
I'm going to keep it up route and keep up the scoring. And I want to just shout out a player. I hadn't been here in a while, Connect. I really like his offensive capabilities. He's not your normal. He's 6'6", and he's so explosive. He can shoot it. He can drive. Like you said, they're isolating him sometimes. So I think a player like that can kind of take over a game or two, especially in the tournament, when you can throw out the game plan when someone comes out and gives you 30. So I think he's capable of carrying us for a game or two in the tournament. That's a big addition.
That's a great point, because it's been a while since they've had someone like that who could take over and save you. Will West, we'll jump past Mark. We'll let him finish up. Mark, Will, where are you going in terms of this team needs to fix it or needs to keep it going?
I think keep it going, and the big thing that I think they need to keep going is force opposing teams to play ISO basketball. There was a stretch, the 10-minute mark last night, Tennessee had allowed only 7 assists on 33 made baskets in their last 70 minutes of game time. That is insane. So they're forcing teams into isolation, to take an off-balance jumper in the paint, low IQ basketball, low percentage shot. I absolutely love it from Tennessee basketball, what we've seen on that defensive end right now.
All right, Mark Pancratz.
I think both of them, the defensive, I think that's our calling card. I would be surprised if we don't keep playing that defense. Offense, scoring points. Two things for me would be, two players for me would be Zakai and Josiah. Josiah doesn't get enough credit, fix-it plays, all the things that he's doing both ends. But to me, and we've talked about a bunch on the show over the years, we got to continue to remain healthy. I think we've got the parts and pieces. But again, you look at 8 guys, what does that say? Does he not trust the bench coming behind those 8 guys? All the guys in our starting lineup. And look, it goes on throughout the country, but all of our guys have had health issues and they've missed basketball games. And so for this team to go, we can't be missing even a piece. And so our health is the biggest thing for me getting to the Final Four.
Did you guys think last night Barnes was sending a message, though? A little bit, like trying to prove a point or send a message at the end of that game? Because I didn't think it made any sense that 4 minutes left, you're still have your starters out in there and you're still running the way that you are and shooting threes the way that you are, and you're not trying to kill the clock. So it just made me think maybe Rick Barnes was trying to send a message with that game at the end of the game, whether it's to his team or to opposing teams in the SEC.
I think that's possible. Oh, did you?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I think it's very much possible, but I think it's more likely that he was sending a message to individual players. He kept Ziegler out there, let him get a few more points. Adu called his number a lot, let him score. There's no better way to build your confidence as a player than see 24 points on the stat sheet, 17 points, and then you build your confidence from there.
My thought, if he's doing that, one, those short-sighted ways of doing it can come back and bite you. What I mean by that is Frank DeLeon or the bench players in this NIL transfer portal that we're in, if these guys don't have confidence, if their confidence is justified off of scoring 19 points versus 24 points, they're truly not that guy. Like, they're not that good of a player. Then if you've got guys that aren't getting in the game in this transfer portal, if you're having to revamp your roster
every
with
year.
4, 5, 6 guys every year, that's tough. That wears you out. So for me, it would have been, hey, I'm trying to get these guys in to be able to get them some confidence, get them some reps in case there is an injury.
Well, that's one of the questions we had in the offseason. You brought in so many new guys, and then you had so many unexpected returnees in terms of Vescovy and then James coming back. We wondered, okay, are there enough basketballs to go around here? And if not, if you keep this down to an 8-9 man rotation, who's going to stick around? I think he's hardly whittling down to like an 8-man rotation. So you do have to wonder about who's going to take Alf out of here. I do think that's a legitimate concern in this day and age when the portal's open.
Yes, sir. And you can't keep everybody happy anyway.
Yeah.
So the ones you want to keep the happiest is the ones that's going to do the bulk of the work, I believe.
Makes you wonder about his view then. And he came out this week and talked about Freddie DeLeon specifically, a guy who was expected to play more. He talked about, well, I need to see more consistency in practice, et cetera, et cetera. Is that, well, we're running out of time. That's a topic we'll save that one for next week. We'll save it. Go ahead. You got
Well, I think the difference, some players, like when I was playing, if we're winning by 20, I felt good going to the bench and waving the towel, cheering for my guys,
Letting
be
the other
playing
guys
like
in.
that made me feel like a player as opposed to be like, doggone, coach, I'm still out here. We're up 25 points. Like, let some of these other dudes get some reps.
That's
you
the
know,
funnest
like,
time of the game, man.
that's when you get hurt too.
All right.
It
very
didn't
good.
happen yesterday, so we got out
Yeah.
of that one.
Got out on it. All right. When we come back, Tennessee's early bracketology reports their top competition in the SEC, and a scouting report. They're heading to Mississippi State next. We got that, and then coming up, Nico, and a poll for you on Nico. Come on back on the Sports Source.
Nico did great.